Hello and welcome back to Sounds of Silvestri, a chronological journey through the continuing filmography of Alan Silvestri. On today's episode, we'll be covering The Delta Force from 1986. My name is Clarence, but you can call me Father George Kennedy. I'm joined, as always, by my co-host Grace, aka Emotional Support Motorcycle.
Come on, let's go. Goose is bird, let's get out of here.
Great choice. Of all
Thanks.
the stupid ass things that they say in this
Chuck
movie.
Norris says, yeah.
Yeah. Sleep tight, sucker.
Sucker. Yeah. So dumb.
Well, Grace, this might be a first. We have 2 episodes in a row with Alan Silvestri news. Can you believe it?
No. Who would have thought?
I mean, this is more minor continuation of our news from last episode, but we just learned, it came over the wire, that Alan's new film Behemoth with Pedro Pascal is set to be the centerpiece selection at the 2026 New York Film Festival.
Mm-hmm.
So what that means?
Yeah, we don't really know what that means, but
yeah.
it sounds great, right?
Sounds like a great honor for Behemoth. Who knows? You know, somebody. So we need boots on the ground. We need somebody who listened to this show, who lives in New York. You know, get a press pass for the New York Film Festival.
Yeah.
Go and ask some questions. You know, we need a voicemail from Pedro at the very least. But you know, see if you can corner Alan, ask him some questions, tell him about us. Maybe not corner. Maybe that's yeah. I could have phrased
that feels
that
aggressive.
Ask him very politely what he learned on the set of the Delta Force. We need to know.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, like, what would your question be for him in this moment? I was thinking, how is it like to work with 8 other composers? But I mean, sure, the Delta Force, equally as important.
Yeah, we're gonna cover that movie 4 years from now, and it's gonna be so tough to pick out. Like, I mean, what do we talk about? Because we can't talk about any of the other composers' work. So it's like, okay, well, here's this one piece that Alan did.
I like the
in
idea
this
that
movie.
we are forbidden to speak of anyone else.
Yeah, we have to go off. We have to create a completely separate show if we want to talk about anybody else's work.
Yeah. Every time we speak about someone else, we get an electric shock as a warning.
Yeah, it's set up on the floor. It's just like the floor in Cat's Eye.
Oh,
that's our punishment.
What a callback. Yeah.
I'm paying attention.
Yeah.
I remember some things, you know, could be because now it's part of my long-term memory. If I had tried to do that callback, you know, like right after we recorded the episode,
it would not be there.
No, there's no chance.
Yeah.
Well, I think the one other piece of news, big announcement. By the time you hear this, just a few days from now, we will be having the first annual Sounds of Silvestri meetup in Chicago. Very exclusive, limited availability.
Correct.
So we will be there August 14th to the 16th. We're not going to give any location, but
there will be posters.
Yes, there will be posters. If you're in Chicago, you know, it's not that big of a place, not that many people. I'm sure you can find us.
So. Yeah.
Track us down, take a picture, you know, and
come watch American Anthem with us.
Yeah, come and watch American Anthem. Very limited seating. So, and we, you know, who's to say there may be some special guests on that episode, but
potentially, yeah.
Nobody can predict it. Who's to say?
It's the end of the summer. I mean, what can we say?
Yes. Everything else pales in comparison. The Odyssey, every other blockbuster. Christopher Nolan, who?
Ever heard of him?
Everybody's talking about the Sounds of Silvestri meetup in Chicago.
Yeah, as they should.
I don't think we have any clearing the air stuff. I think we did a really great job on the last episode. We knew what we were talking about for once.
Yeah, no notes. Yeah.
Yeah, well, you know, I don't want to get into the movie just yet. I want to stall as much as I can because I have a feeling it's going to be a tough discussion.
Can talk, like, producing wise, we are recording this the day that the Clan of the Caver episode comes out. So there hasn't been much time for the community to absorb it, and that's okay. But yeah, just as a production note, we're recording this a little bit earlier than we normally do.
Just a little early, yeah, for my benefit because I'm going on vacation.
Yeah, Claire's gonna go have fun, whatever.
Taking some time off work, going to enjoy some state parks, living it up at the pool.
Sounds great.
How dare I?
How dare you take time for yourself? What the hell?
If I were really committed to this show, I would bring a laptop with, and we would
No,
have
I would
recorded the
not make
Delta Force
Darius
episode.
deal
Yeah.
with that.
I'm like, well, you just go down to the pool for an hour and a half. I'm going to
Grace is
talk
just
about...
really insisting that we really keep to our schedule and record right now.
Yeah, we have to talk about Chuck Norris. It's one day. We're going to be here for 5 days. You can't set aside a
2
half...
hours?
2 hours. This is important to me. God damn it. No. Yeah, so
He doesn't listen.
No, never listened. Truthfully, he has told me that our episodes are too long. He said, if you want me to listen more consistently, you have to cut down the episodes. I'm like,
And that
what?
is feedback
Fair
we
enough.
do need. Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
It's tough
that's
stuff.
hilarious.
It's the people
It's the
closest
people
to you
closest
give
to
you the most the most honest feedback.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Well, speaking of the people closest to you, I don't think there's anybody closer to anybody else than the bond that you build as part of an elite crew in the U.S. military. So, see how I landed that?
That was great.
Yeah.
What a segue.
I got it. I'm on top of things.
Yeah.
Well, let's get into it. Let's get into this thing. In 1980, a botched military mission in the Iranian desert leaves Delta Force soldier Scott McCoy, played by Chuck Norris, so fed up with politicians calling the shots that he vows to walk away for good. 5 years later, self-described freedom fighters hijack a commercial airline carrying 144 passengers and crew, forcing the plane to Lebanon and separating the passengers with Jewish-sounding names from the rest. The hijackers are led by Robert Forster, in brownface, while the hostages include Martin Balsam and George Kennedy. With the crisis spiraling out of control, the military calls McCoy back to duty, alongside Colonel Nick Alexander, played by Lee Marvin. McCoy and the rest of Delta Force deploy to take the hijackers down and bring the hostages home. What follows is a globe-trotting rescue operation from Algiers to Beirut, with McCoy going door-to-door through militant-controlled territory, hunting down his targets one by one. It's a race against time, and not everybody makes it out alive, but this is a Chuck Norris film, so you know that he doesn't quit. And when he finally corners Robert Forster, he settles things the only way he knows how, the way he's done countless times before as a leader of the Delta Force.
Yep, that's what happened.
If I remembered anything about the theme song, I would have started humming the theme song.
I feel like we heard it enough that it should be locked in there, but I think I've blacked it out.
Constantly.
I think that's
yeah.
to go right into the score. I think Alan made a theme and he's like, good enough. This movie doesn't need anything else. And that's sort of all we got, right? We got that
Just
theme.
Play it again. Play it
So many
over and over
times.
again. Yeah.
I liked the intro, like with the percussion build, and it felt very like action movie, like sort of not what we're used to seeing him do. And then it just hit redo, like it just repeat.
Yep, put it on the loop. Yeah, he gets into it with like it was like a very 1980s drum machine.
Yeah.
And, just right away, just doom, 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 doom. It felt very much like there were clear signs of where he was heading as we get closer and closer to Flight of the Navigator in the end of September. Because that, famously, that's the first like fully synthesizer movie score. And it feels like with every movie we've been covering over the past month or so, we're just getting a little bit more synthesizer. So he's just inching closer and closer to what we will eventually get. But yeah, you're right. It's the theme song, and they just keep dropping it in, whether it's appropriate timing or not.
Yeah, there's one of the many fight scenes towards the end, and it just kept going. It was like another explosion, theme song, another explosion, theme song, and it just was like a back and forth kind of pattern. I should also mention that because of when we're recording this early, I had a wedding this past weekend, so I didn't have time to watch movies. So I had to watch yesterday I recorded with Scott for BWE, and I was just really tired, and I didn't watch this movie after that, and so I got up at like 5:45 this morning and started it. So I was awake at 6 a.m. and the movie starts with an explosion, and that was so jarring and maybe the worst way to start my day.
Yeah.
But at least the theme was fun. But I was like, I seriously regretted doing this whole endeavor at 6 in the morning when the plane blew up, and I was like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, you're very committed to your craft. I'll give you that. But
Mm-hmm.
there's so many explosions in this movie. It's kind of insane to the point where it felt like a parody near the end.
Yeah, I definitely checked out towards the end because they're just like we're
Mm.
blowing up everything.
Well, it's
And
2 hours long.
that theme keeps going, and it's like I feel like I'm stuck in a time loop.
It's like you don't. I don't even know what's exploding anymore.
I don't know who or what is blowing up in this moment.
Everything is flammable. It's like they doused everything with gasoline beforehand.
Yeah.
There was a point where I think in my brain I forgot that I was watching what was supposed to be a fairly straightforward action film, and the part of me that's like was expecting like parody jokes kicked in because there's a
Yeah.
part where a guy falls out of a car and I half expected him to blow up as well. I
Mm-hmm.
was like, because that's what they would do in like a Leslie Nielsen film. Just
Yes.
everything
Well,
would blow up.
and there are moments that lean into it, like when
Yeah.
Chuck Norris's motorcycle has fires a rocket out of the exhaust.
And that's
Oh my god,
that's the big
that's the
climactic
that's the climax.
showdown. Yeah, yeah.
I
Just
had to rewind.
oh my god,
I was laughing so hard.
ridiculous.
Yeah. So I guess let's go back to the score.
Yeah.
This comes out maybe 4 months before Top Gun, but it sounds so of a piece of each other. And I was really wondering if there was a transition that happened just sonically in music, in film composition. But I don't know if there is something that really points to the genesis of that moment. But there's so many things, like the chord progressions feel very similar. Like it feels very
Yep.
derivative of Top Gun, even though it came out first. But I don't know if you have any thoughts on that at all.
I mean, I love 80s movies. I haven't watched a lot of 80s action flicks, so that's a little
Mm-hmm.
bit of a blind spot. So I don't know if that was in movie scores necessarily, if that was like a big moment, but 80s music in general, I mean, it was like very synthesizer heavy, like very drum machine. Everything had that same, like every drum in a 1980s song sounds exactly the same. It's like the
Yeah.
very hollow, obviously fake, like hair metal sounding thing. So I wonder if, that was starting to influence movies as well. Like the pop
Mm-hmm.
culture was
Yeah, I
starting
wonder
to
if
seep in.
we've been in the 80s long enough that could probably
hmm
be reflective of what the music is at that time anyways.
Everything about this movie, not even just the music. I mean, not even just the music, not just the politics. Everything about this movie felt
Mm-hmm.
very 1986, for better or worse.
I do want to mention another score note
hmm
that feels relevant to me is that
Yes.
this score was used by ABC Sports for the Indy 500 broadcast for 10
Oh my
years,
God.
which is kind of ridiculous.
That's
I
insane.
didn't have time
10
to
years.
watch an intro like with it, but I will do so after the pod because I think it's kind of hilarious.
So what I'm hearing is that we're going to have to start. We're gonna have to do an episode on the Indy 500 because it
Yeah,
includes the
we'll
score.
pick a random. Well, probably just the intro, right? I think we can just watch the intro and cut out. That's a long race.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll do the due diligence and I'll watch. You pick a year between one of those years, and I'll see what I can
Okay.
find. Yeah,
And the bonus episode will just be the intro.
and I'll be just maybe like, sounds good.
Yep. That's it.
That's it. They did it.
Look at him go.
Whoa, crazy! Off to the
How many
races,
laps
guys.
left? You might be surprised. I didn't have many notes about the score,
Mm-hmm.
just because it was pretty one note. I did think near the very end when Delta Force has pulled it off and we have
Yeah.
our reunion between the hostages and their families at the Israeli airport. I did think the emotional theme in that moment was kind of nice.
It was okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't feel super moved by it, but maybe that's because I was stuck on the fact that they were drinking Budweisers and singing
Oh my
American the Beautiful
God.
before that. So I don't really know about like how the other thing landed. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No,
I was kind of like,
that's
I
a
was
good
kind of like,
note.
can we be done? Like, can we get out of here?
Yeah, that was the biggest issue, not to spoil too much early in the discussion. That was the biggest issue that I had with this movie is that it just refused to end at a certain point. It's like,
Yes,
we
that's an
get it.
excellent point.
Yeah.
I was
Because
texting the group.
it's 2 hours long and it's like,
It's so
how
long.
much more can we squeeze into this thing?
Yeah, because I had to watch this in segments, and I was
Right.
texting the group like when I got home, I still had like 40 minutes left, and I was like, how is it not over? I think this felt longer than Clan of the Cave Bear.
Yeah, absolutely. It did.
This definitely needed an ice cream interim. Like, I needed an ice cream intermission. It didn't happen, but I sure needed it.
Which is crazy because, just looking at the plot between the two of them, you would think that this one would move so much faster.
And I think for me, the issue is that they set this up as a plane disaster movie, which I love. I mean, I watched all those airport movies. I love a disaster movie. And that's not what this is.
No.
We leave the plane and there's still like an hour 15 left or something. There's a crazy amount of time post plane. And I think that's where it really falters.
Yeah, I think
they try to do too much.
They really do. I think if they had just focused on, and we can get away from the score because I don't know if we have too many other notes, but
no.
I think the first like 30 minutes, which is the bulk of the plane hijacking sequence. I mean, yeah, like you said, it has the makings of a good disaster movie. And then once Delta Force gets involved, that's when it starts to suffer for me. Because it just becomes so silly while trying to be serious at the same time.
Yeah.
And it's like we have all of these old men trying to act tough, looking ridiculous, and just like completely over the top. But no, I enjoyed the first 30 minutes or so. I thought that was pretty good. And what I didn't realize until afterwards, when I was reading up on it a little bit more, is that a lot of the events in that first 30 minutes were based on a real plane hijacking that happened like just a year before this movie came out.
Yeah, do you have more information on that?
Well, first of all, I think people forget nowadays how common plane hijackings were in like the late 60s, early 70s. Like I looked it up, and apparently just between 1968 and 1972.
Wait, 4 years? Okay.
Yeah, so just between those 4 years, there was one plane hijacking every 5 days.
Oh my God.
Which is crazy. Like just, and then in 1973, you'd think they would have done this a lot sooner with that many going on. But in 1973, they started doing like universal bag checks and like mandatory metal detectors. So that really cut down on it a lot. So in 1985, there was a hijacking of TWA Flight 847. And that's primarily what this movie is based on, although they try to be clever and they change it to ATW.
Yeah.
And so, a lot of the details are based on that, including passengers with Jewish-sounding last names being separated from the rest of the passengers. They killed and dumped a soldier from the plane. And then there was also a point in real life in this attack where the pilot had his head out the window taking press questions, and they had a gun to his head. So all that happened. Although in real life, there was a German flight attendant in real life, but in the real attack, she refused to help with separating the passengers. Whereas in this movie, she does help, but she has kind of a panic attack about it because of the Holocaust.
Yeah, that was a bit of a plot twist. Didn't expect that to be a factor in this.
She really beats you over the head with why she's upset about it, too.
The selections, the Nazis, the death camps. Don't you see I can't do what you want me to do?
They do a lot of telling in this film in a way that I didn't expect, especially for it being so long.
Yes.
There's that moment where Lee Martin is like explaining the hierarchy, and he's like, "Oh, like General Woodbridge just waiting for the go ahead from the president. I'm waiting for the go ahead from General Woodbridge, and you're waiting for the go ahead from me." Like, yeah, that's how that works.
Yeah, we get it. Yeah.
We're aware.
I wish he had taken out a big chart and like a pointer. He's like, "This is
like
the president answers to the voting public. I answer to yeah. But if you want to understand this, you have to understand the Electoral College. So how much time do you have here?
Just a civics lesson in the middle would have been great, I think. Yeah.
Why not? They had time for everything else.
Well, do we want to talk about some of the performances? Because we talked about how there's a lot of character actors in this.
It's a pretty stacked cast in terms of character actors. It's like a who's who of like
the 20th century,
like 20th century dad film mainstays. So I mean, like you got Lee Marvin, you got Chuck Norris, you got George Kennedy, you got Martin Balsam, you got Lainie Kazan, you got Shelley Winters, Robert Forster. I mean, the list goes on. You get Liam Neeson as an extra, uncredited.
Oh, Did you see him? I didn't actually see him.
I was looking for him. I was like, because he doesn't. I mean, there's really nobody who looks like him. So I'm like, he's got no.
There are
He must have been in the
quite a few
background.
moments where it's like just a little too dark to discern people.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that was the resolution from Hoopla, but sometimes it's hard to tell what's actually like who the people are actually on screen.
Yeah.
Was he a part of the Delta Force? Do we know, or do you think he was a Lebanese citizen?
Yeah, he was part of Delta Force, which I was surprised how many members of Delta Force there are. Like it's a huge crew.
It's like a whole company.
Like, yeah. Like you think it's gonna be like this elite
It's like
group.
maybe 6. And it's like
but there's like 50
people.
guys. Yeah.
Yeah. Because there's enough people that like you have enough main characters, and there's so many more people behind them.
Yes.
Yeah. I think the Martin Balsam moment where he gets called up is really tough to watch, and I was very worried they were going to kill him right there.
Yes.
But I think he doesn't have a lot to do in this movie besides that moment, but he makes a meal of it, and I think that's like what a good character actor does.
Yeah, the line from him that I had written down, because it's the point where the German flight attendant has to collect all their passports to figure out who has a Jewish sounding last name. And they show him holding up his passport, and you can kind of see the concentration camp tattoo on his arm. So right away, I mean, that's tough. And then when they're leading him away.
Not again. What are you doing? Where are you going? Don't go.
We survived once. We can do it again.
And you're right. He has some of it's very understated.
Yeah.
But I felt like he and some of the other passengers had some great performances. And that's why you get these formerly Oscar-winning actors is for that stuff.
Because they'll deliver. Right. Like, and it's something, there's something about like how it's about acting, not about the part, where they're willing to take a role because it's a good opportunity, like an acting experience, as opposed to like it being super, super meaty, which I think maybe, I don't know, has Hollywood shifted from that model? I think maybe there's people who always are going to take those roles, but I think it's less enticing, I think, to pick up a role like that as opposed to a role like the Chuck Norris role, which I mean, that's a totally different thing, but it's more glamorous, I guess, in the long run.
Yeah, I wanted to look up how the age difference between Lee Marvin and Martin Balsam, because I feel like they have to be of a similar age.
Lee Marvin was born in 1924.
Okay.
And where is Martin Balsam? He was born in 1919, so yeah, 5 years.
Okay. So they're very similar ages, but playing very, very, very different roles.
Oh my God, and Lee Marvin died the year after this.
Oh.
And Martin Balsam didn't die until 96, maybe?
Good for him. Was this the last movie that Lee Marvin did?
One sec.
I hope not.
Oh gosh, I'm just like too deep in the Wikipedia. Hold on, let's go to Letterboxd. I was looking at his death. He was a heavy smoker, and I think he died from complications to that.
Yeah. That'll do it.
This might be it.
What a way to go out. Storied career.
Because a lot of the stuff is like, a lot of the last stuff is like documentary stuff or like talking about other people. So I think
that's tough.
It was Dog Day, The Dirty Dozen, Next Mission, and then The Delta Force.
Dirty Dozen is great. That's a good movie. That's another movie where it's like stacked cast, every character actor working at the time.
Which one? Sorry.
Dirty Dozen.
Okay.
Well, now I don't want to shit on Lee Marvin too much if this was his last movie, but I told Grace before we started recording, I don't know, I can't describe what it is that bothers me about Lee Marvin's voice in this movie, but oh my God, it pissed me off so much. What
do we want to try? Like, do you want to dig into this? What do you think? Do you think it's the tone? Do you think it's the intention behind his performance, his voice?
It felt like
does it feel unrealistic?
He was trying to be louder at points, and it didn't sound like his voice was changing at all. And I can't even imitate it because it sounded like somebody was like stepping on his throat. I don't know. It felt very thin to me.
Where are the hostages?
But now, if I know that maybe he was already, in the beginning of complications, then, I don't want to seem like an asshole.
Does it make you feel worse that he pretty strongly supported gay rights as well?
Oh, Mike, see? And he was an ally? Shit.
He was an ally. Yep.
God damn it. Well, now I take it back. I loved his voice. I thought it was great. I Here's one positive. I have one positive about Lee Marvin, and then I have one more negative. When the hijacking first happens and they make the decision to call in Delta Force, we cut to Lee Marvin drinking and trying to flirt with a bartender, and he's got a special Delta Force pager that goes off, and I loved that. And he goes, "Give me the phone, give me the phone." So I did like that. And then my one negative is he's got the rest of Delta Force together. They're loading up in the plane so that they can go and begin their mission, and he's stalling while they wait for Chuck Norris to show up. It's like, it's not like there's lives at stake or anything, Lee.
There's
like, let's just
so many lives at stake.
Let's just wait, for one more person who we don't know if he's going to show up.
I think he has a hard line to toe because he's supposed to be a commander, the commanding officer, but
Right.
and give a commanding performance, but also leave room for Chuck Norris to do his thing. And there's just like an energy there, good or bad, that's hard to contend with, I think, as a performer, because like he's bringing something so unique and something that people are looking for in these movies.
Right.
So not only we have to take a back seat, but also like be his commanding officer at the same time is, I think, a tough balance to sort of find.
And it's almost like it's like a handoff between, like the old guard and the new guard in terms of action movies. Because you have stuff like The Dirty Dozen, where Lee Marvin is like the main guy. And then it almost feels like his presence here is like handing it off to Chuck Norris. Like, okay, well, we're moving into a different phase now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Where you don't have as much as the
together,
drama.
But you've got to lead it. Yeah.
I realized I don't know if I'd ever heard Chuck Norris talk before until I watched this movie. I had no recollection of what his voice sounded like, and it wasn't what I expected.
I think I saw last year before he died a TikTok with his granddaughter or something. Like I saw that. So I'm sure I heard his voice then. But couldn't really tell you anything else.
Well, do you want to talk about Chuck Norris, or did you have some more notes on some of the character actors?
I thought Lainey Kazan did a great job.
Yes.
Not given a ton to do, but I think once again she's great.
The one thing about her, the way that she takes off her ring in that first scene
Oh
is
my
psychotic.
God, I've never seen anyone do that.
Fully sticks her finger in her mouth and pulls
All the
off
way.
her ring.
I would just be afraid that you choke.
Right.
the
And then she
ring.
just holds it in her teeth. Yeah.
And she's like, hey,
Psychotic.
you grab it out of my mouth to look at it.
Yeah.
What?
That was insane.
Oh, I want to talk about how George Kennedy, good old GK, doesn't bother me so much in this one. Because
Do you think it's just the lack of an accent?
Yes, that's what I was going to say. He's not doing a goofy voice. And I was like, he's kind of okay when he's himself or, like not pretending to be. I was really expecting an awful Irish accent.
God, I was
so when he just
hoping.
spoke and it was just him, I was like, whoa, I'm taken aback. And he kind of delivers that Jesus Christ line pretty effectively.
What is your name?
William O'Malley.
I did not call you.
You call for all the Jews. I'm Jewish, just like Jesus Christ. You take one of us, you gotta take us all.
He looked great too. He's
I said
he's like dad built. He's got
I was
the
like, why does he
short
kind of
sleeves
rock
on.
the short sleeve priest look?
Right.
Like he got in the glasses. Yeah.
The shades, the clearly going bald, but he's got the comb over.
Comb over.
He looked great. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm Jewish, just like Jesus Christ. It's like, okay, George. He really thought that he did
Like
something
he's
with that
really trying to
line.
make a point there, and they really do
Yeah.
not give a fuck.
Okay, we'll gladly, throw you against the wall and shoot you too.
As is my normal mode, I was making up a backstory about the three Navy guys, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I was like,
Let's hear it. Go for it.
well, I just like they're giving queer vibes. They're in the Navy. It kind of works. They're all wearing they're all on vacation together. The
in the
blonde
Navy.
seems really distressed that the brunette died. Obviously, it was harrowing, but just thinking about stuff like that. I was really bored watching this. It would not end.
You need any sort of backstory.
Something.
Would it make you feel better if I told you that when I was watching this with Darius, especially during the scene on the plane, he kept getting annoyed that none of the passengers were trying to fight back against the two guys, and then because he's like, that's just two people, like nobody's gonna try and do anything. And then when it got to the part with the three Navy guys, he said, well, of course the three gay Navy guys aren't gonna do anything.
Darius and Iris in sync.
Yeah.
So we both saw it, right? Yeah.
Something about the
Because there's that
Navy.
whole kerfuffle with their Navy ID cards, and it's like,
God.
of course they had to clarify. It's like, just give them the card.
We have these. We don't have passports. We have these. They don't give a shit.
No, as long as they have your name, it's fine. You're causing more issues. But also the standing up to people. Those hijackers were pistol whipping people left and right.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's pretty much
Yeah.
a deterrent in my mind.
That's what I was saying too. I'm like, it's easy to watch a movie and say, well, this is what I would have done. But
Yeah.
until you're in the situation and you've seen somebody get the shit beat out of them, and also it's mid-flight, so I don't know if I'm gonna be messing with somebody who's got a gun out of the off chance that I hit them and the gun goes off and it breaks a window or something. Then we're
Yeah.
going down anyway. I'm
There's a lot
not
of
gonna.
potential
Yeah.
catastrophes at play. Yeah.
Maybe we're just weak. I don't know.
Uh,
We'll
no,
reenact
I mean-
this situation.
Will we?
Not. Let me clarify. We'll reenact it as
You're
they
gonna put us
do
on-
in
put
the
us on a
movie with
list.
a decommissioned plane on the ground.
There is a moment where they head up to the cockpit and it's like they're supposed to be, like flying and there's just a
Yes.
white screen. There's nothing.
It's
That
ridiculous.
was very funny.
Yeah, everything in the cockpit is insane. The line, can we get some beds? You don't need beds. You're gonna die
You're
tomorrow.
gonna die tomorrow.
I was like,
Kind of hardcore.
fair enough.
Yeah.
Give him a good night's sleep at least. Jesus.
Okay, do we talk about Chuck now?
I do have one other thing about.
yeah.
We do see Robert Forster shirtless. And I wrote down, finally an opportunity to use the "I think I see a nipple" soundboard drop. It's been too long. I think I see a nipple.
Our friends send us that all the time. So we've heard it recently, but
Mhm.
never in an
Not on this
official
show.
capacity. Yeah.
Say what you will about the optics of picking Robert Forster to play a Middle Eastern freedom fighter. His fit was fantastic. He looked great.
Mhm. The suit?
With
Yeah.
the white suit and the red shirt,
Mm-hmm.
the jet black hair.
I mean, he did a good job
Yeah.
in
With
the
what he was
role.
compared to
Yeah.
some people. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good transition to get into Chuck Norris.
Yeah. Do you have any thoughts off the bat?
Well, I think they give us a clear idea of the type of guy we're working with when right away in the beginning of the movie, Chuck defies orders to go and rescue somebody, and he rolls a barrel labeled "very flammable" directly into an open flame. Did you notice that? When he goes to rescue Pete or whatever the fuck the guy's name is, he's just like, well, let me just put this on top of the fire.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. They tell you who you're working with.
Mm-hmm. Is he, I don't know much about him.
Mm-hmm.
Is he the same level where he would insist on doing all his stunts in the way that Tom Cruise does? And like you're just sort of anticipating him dying on set at some point in his life?
I think he probably built it up that way. I don't know if he actually did to the same extent that Tom Cruise does. But I'm sure he probably tried to build the myth that it was all him with his kung fu kicks and everything.
I'd say his performance is wooden. That's the word I'd use. Uninteresting. One note.
Going back to when Delta Force is first called in, I like when Chuck he's eating some sort of white mush. I don't know what it was.
It was eggs at first. I don't know if that's true or
I
not.
couldn't tell what it was.
I mean, I
Well,
don't
he's
eat
listening to a
eggs.
news report about the hijacking, and he's just continuing to eat this
Shoveling
slop,
them in. Yeah.
getting angrier and angrier, and finally he's like, "I've had enough," and he drives off to find Delta Force. Now you've
And then,
made Chuck angry.
It's instantly promoted to major as he
Jesus
bikes through
Christ.
the C-130, right?
Yeah, why not?
Great.
No, he's not a captain anymore. Now he's a major. It was worth it for them to wait for
What
him.
branch of military was this?
Great question.
Army?
It's completely separate. This is
not how
CIA.
that works.
This is
That's not how that works. If it's the military.
Yeah.
Maybe it says, hold on, let me peruse the Wikipedia page real quick. No, it just fucking says Delta Force Unit. Special Ops Force of the United States Army. Okay.
There you go.
Thank you, Wikipedia.
They're unaccountable, so they can get away with putting guns in people's mouths to try and get information.
Yeah, what the hell?
That scene was crazy.
I mean, I shouldn't be surprised. Oh,
No.
speaking of military,
Mhm.
I thought Robert Vaughn did an okay job as the man in the chair, I guess is what you would call it.
The star making role, the man in the chair.
I mean, I
No,
feel
I don't know
like
how else you would describe that role.
he's
yeah.
like, I don't know if he's, let's see, I'm on the Wikipedia page. He's a general. He's the U.S. Army Chief of Staff. But he's also, wasn't he the guy who was in the original Man from U.N.C.L.E.? And is it the TV show?
That's a good question. I think so. That sounds right to me.
Oh, he wrote his thesis on the influence of the House Committee on Un-American Activities on American Theater, 1938 to 58. Am I reading that later? Hope he was against.
Yeah, he didn't. You read it, and turns out he thought it could have gone harder.
He's like, it was great. We loved it.
Yeah, I thought it had a really great effect on theater.
Ooh. Oh, he wrote a book, Only Victims, a study of show business blacklisting. Robert Vaughn received his PhD from the University of Southern California in 1970, by which he was already internationally established as a star of television and films. That's cool.
Good for
Mr.
him.
Vaughn has portrayed 5 American presidents. But it was his performance as a presidential henchman in Washington behind closed doors that won him his Emmy. Wait, Robert Vaughn seems sick.
Yeah, he's an everyman. Which does it say which presidents he portrayed?
Well, that was his intro, so let me scroll down to more of his.
This episode brought to you by the Wikipedia page for Robert Vaughn.
I mean, I think it's okay that we say that we're purveyors of Wikipedia. I mean, it's
Yes.
I think it's a useful
It needs our
resource.
support.
Especially now more than ever. Now more than ever, Wikipedia needs your support. Okay. He played FDR, Harry S. Truman, Woodrow Wilson. So it's 3, right?
Mhm.
Did I say 5? Is that what it said?
Yeah. And Barack Obama.
Imagine.
Near the end of his life.
Okay, hold on. I'm scrolling down to now his film. This is riveting audio, I know.
Almost as exciting as the Delta Force.
Honestly, I think there's more of a sense of anticipation. Oh, he played Hitler.
There you go.
In the 1989 mockumentary, that's adequate. Oh, that sounds cool. In 1998, he played in the movie Visions, Agent Silvestri.
A connection?
Okay, I can't find the other 3.
Okay.
I wonder if it's in a TV show. Oh my god, he's in so much TV. Sorry.
Well, we got
We're off
3
the
of the
rails
5.
already.
That's okay. Who cares?
I care, Clarence.
Speaking of character actors, Pete, the young buck soldier who dies at the end, I thought that he was giving what I can only describe as a Kevin Costner-esque performance. Did you get a Costner vibe from him?
Yeah, I think
the
part of the
worst
Costner
way.
stuff is like the voice as well. So not as bad as Costner, but I think there's definitely there's something there, right?
Yeah.
There's definitely something there.
It felt like to me like he thought that his role was bigger than it actually was. Like he was really trying to squeeze.
He's making a meal of it.
Yeah. I'll see you when I see you. He really thought that was going to be like his iconic
supporting
quote.
Academy Award nomination clip. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they call him up. I'll see you when I see you. Who could forget?
Yeah. Yep.
Scraping the bottom of the barrel here.
In the beginning, when Chuck Norris takes off his coat and it's like this sleeveless camo army tank, I was like, that's not regulation.
No.
Just the phrase top secret anti-terror special forces is a mouthful. That Cabbage Patch Kid doll box is massive. Like, that's such an awkward thing to have to carry onto a plane. And it was when Cabbage Patch dolls like just had like a perm. They didn't have that was just their hair was just a perm.
Yeah.
It was hilarious.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, I was saying that the character who ends up being Polish. Do the nuns just say he's like? I feel like the nuns are just like, you're Polish. You know, like I don't. I was like, is there any indication? Do they know him, or they're just like, you look Polish? It was just weird.
Yeah, I guess they were inferring from his accent and his last name. And he does say, you know, they're talking about how they're all from Chicago, and he says like, I've been here for 4 years or something. So I guess they were just inferring, but yeah, that was kind of strange. He's Polish. That was a tough scene too when they drag him off. He's like, "No, I'm Catholic. I'm Roman Catholic."
And that's what inspires GK to walk down and join them.
You got to get all of us.
What I wanted to mention during the Robert Vaughn part is the room, like the sit room sort of thing that they're in, feels very fail-safe or very like Dr. Strangelove, where like we're in a big cavernous room. There's a lot of important work happening at the center.
You got the desks, you got the overhead lights, yeah.
Jumping back to the Cabbage Patch Kid, I think that girl, Ellen, she's very effective with her like, don't take my father. So sad. Or in the father, like she's like, take the doll. That got me.
Take the doll.
I mean, it didn't get me, but I felt emotional. Want to be clear,
So
I did not
defensive.
cry.
It didn't get me. It did not get me. Don't tell anybody that moment got me.
I didn't cry.
No,
guys,
she was
I
good.
promise. No, she was really good. What's her name? Do we have a name?
Who knows? Who knows?
Hold on.
And then the
Natalie Roth is her name.
Natalie Roth. Did you ever do anything after this?
Nope. There is no link on her Wikipedia. There's no Wikipedia page. That's what I meant to say.
Well, she reached perfection in this movie. So where do you go from there?
I'm learning that. Sorry, you're some more important.
Probably not. I have some notes about the different action sequences, although at a certain point they all started to kind of run together in my mind
Yeah.
because I just wanted the movie to be over.
Mm-hmm.
A question I had was Delta Force, which we are to assume is America's top strike team. They
Like
drive a
it's
bunch of dune buggies.
equivalent of SEAL Team 6 for the
Yeah,
Navy.
they're driving a bunch of dune buggies on the beach.
Yeah, I mean, they're not really kitted out in the way you'd expect special ops to be. And they're not subtle. They're loud.
Mm-hmm.
They don't seem very coordinated.
No.
There's that whole thing where they go off radio, and then Lee Marvin finds out, like, oh shit, like they're all the whole plane has no people, just terrorists. And it's like, oh fuck, and so he's like running out, and he's like turning on the siren, and it's like that's the only way to stop the operation.
Give away their position.
There's no other failsafe.
Yeah, he jumps in a Jeep, turn on the siren, turn on the light.
Yeah.
Just gives them away. The prancing from some of the soldiers during the beach storming was crazy. Like they were afraid of the water. It looked like me going into Lake Michigan when the water's cold. Like it just.
Well, you don't want to really get in, but you're like,
yes, you're like, ooh. It did not strike me as.
It's sort of like it feels like a Scooby-Doo moment, like
yes,
like very cartoonish.
I also did not buy that a VW type van could outrun a bunch of military Jeeps during that chase sequence.
No.
Stupid. But one thing I did like about that chase was you get a classic trope that I feel like you don't really see anymore in action movies, which was that we saw a fruit stand just get demolished.
Yeah,
just
we don't
watermelon.
do that at all.
I feel like that used to be like a mainstay. Like if there's a chase through a city, you're gonna see a fruit stand get blown up.
The last time I saw a fruit stand outside of like the West Side Market in Cleveland probably been when I was in Europe, and that was longer ago than I'd care to admit. But yeah, there's not. I don't really think there's fruit stalls. Do you have any around you?
Not
like
unless
out in the
it's
open,
a farmer's market.
Like loose, a loose fruit stall, unattached.
Yeah. Bring back the fruit stands. Every once in a while, you'll be driving past a gas station and you'll see like an unsanctioned fruit stand. I feel like
Yeah.
But it's rare, and it's hard to get a good chase sequence on America's stroads that we have today. So we lost something.
There's a SpongeBob reference right there.
I don't know. Is there?
I don't know.
Yes, they. Yes, there is a SpongeBob reference. Thank you, Grace. During when they're rescuing the hostages, one of the hostages gets shot in the leg or something. He goes, my leg, which is a SpongeBob thing. Anytime there's like a big chaotic scene in SpongeBob or something goes wrong, there's a sound clip that they'll use where a guy goes, my leg, and you never see the guy saying it, but there's always some guy yelling about his leg.
The biggest SpongeBob fan, clocked that for sure.
One of the other quotes I had, when the pilots are finally taking off again from Beirut, one of the co-pilots goes, they're shooting at us. It's like, no shit. Like, where have you been asleep? Yeah.
Oh, just one last thing about Robert Vaughn. I found that Burt Lancaster was at the first night of his play that ended up signing him to a film contract. Just a fun little tie-in. Okay, moving on. What else do we have to talk about? Oh, can we talk about how none of the Arabic subtitles were translated?
Yeah. Wasn't that great?
That sucked. It just feels very... there's just like a lack of care there, right?
You said you watched this on Hoopla, right?
Yeah.
See, I rented a DVD, and the DVD had subtitles for the Arabic. It didn't have an option for English subtitles for anything else, but it did have it for that. So
I had English subtitles and no Arabic subtitles.
Okay, so between the two of us, we understood the whole
movie.
Yeah, great.
Well, did they say anything important that I should know? Because I didn't get any of it.
I think at a certain point they said there are Israelis on this plane. No, I can't remember anything. Nothing that you wouldn't have gotten from the performance without subtitles, I feel like.
Do we want to talk about the politics of this film?
We probably should. We've been kind of beating around the bush with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to start? Go for it.
I just don't know how to start this. Basically, we are at a very different place with American Middle Eastern relations than we were in the 80s.
Yeah.
And I think that is where the two of us are coming from, where we see a different aggressor than this movie sees. Yeah, we'll start with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, American intervention in the Middle East, not good. I'll say it.
Yeah.
Um,
Hot take.
but yeah, I think it's just like something that seems so far removed from where we're at currently. But obviously, it's
Yeah.
not because all of us is related, but just the perspective I think is so radically different from what, if I could speak for both of us, than what we view as what
Yeah.
is correct.
It is tough to. I mean, with any movie that's far enough removed from the present day, it's tough not to view it in a modern light, especially knowing like having the context, the hindsight of like what was in store in the next
Yeah.
40 years. It's tough.
And the current devastation that is being wrought.
Yeah, exactly. One thing I will say about the movie that, I don't know if it's a point in its favor, but it is something that I noticed that not a lot of other movies, even tangentially dealing with this topic, would have touched on, is that they did try to give the hijackers some sort of reason why they were doing what they were doing, whereas with a lot of other movies it would just be, well, they're pure evil.
They also tried to bring a little bit of humanity into it as well for the hijackers.
Like you get the moment with Natalie Roth and I forget the guy's name because I don't know if
maybe?
yeah,
That was him.
where he's talking about how he has a daughter the same age as her. So yeah, you get like brief glimpses where they're trying to inject some sort of humanity into it.
Yeah.
And more so in, like we talked about, the first 30 minutes where it is just the hijacking. I mean, once Delta Force gets involved, it's straight good guys, bad guys,
movie
blow
almost.
them up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just have a lot of friends in Lebanon, and I have like right now they're obviously going through a lot, so it just sucks to
Yes.
sort of watch or just sort of come from like watch a film where that hateful rhetoric has continued to spread.
Yep.
And sort of infected a generation.
I mean, it's very indicative of the time. This is, like we said, this is a very 80s movie. It's very, I mean, if you want a glimpse into what the American policy was under Reagan, I mean, I can't think of a better example. I'm sure there's some out there, but this is like, yeah.
And just sort of like the what's the word I want? Like casual way everyone just went about this. I think that's what's so, I don't know if I want to say disappointing, but just so startling from like a 2026 perspective about how like, oh yeah, of course, this is like these are the bad guys explicitly.
Yeah. And obviously, we audiences would expect, well, they got to get the Americans back. They're going to do whatever it takes. Talking again about how Pete, sticks a gun in one of the terrorists' mouth. It's like, and then he's, demanding answers. It's like, the guy doesn't speak English. Like, what do you think? Putting the gun in his mouth, you're not going to get any different answer. But I'm sure that's what they expected at the time. It's just, well, they got to do whatever it takes. I mean, that was one of the obvious big marks against this movie for me, other than, or in addition to it just refusing to end, it was so much of the time in a way that's just borders on parody. And just feels so like testosterone soaked, just like completely ignorant to any sort of awareness of like global affairs, which, I don't know if anybody is going into the Delta Force as like, oh, this is going to be a clear-eyed view of
This is the end
international
all,
politics. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
But
go
yeah,
to
it's
Chuck
just a
Norris
very, like,
for that.
American macho in a way that is distasteful to me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we talked a little bit about this back in our Back to the Future episode when we were talking with Dave, and he was talking about, this was kind of the default with male characters at the time, is just like this heavy macho kind of vibe. And, to go from covering Marty McFly to Chuck Norris in the span of a month is a very striking difference.
Oh, something I also wanted to mention is that, like a lot of 80s military films, this was funded in part by the military. At least, like the Israeli Air Force gave the production, the Herc that they use. So it came, like, there were army vehicles, I think, that came both from the U.S. Army and from the IDF. So that
I think that's right.
is tough. And I sort of think that whatever motorcycle Chuck Norris uses, I think I read that he designed it himself, and they added the weaponry that he designed for it, which is crazy. So he was like, I do want that exhaust pipe that blows a cannon
that
out.
shoots a rocket. Yeah.
Yeah.
I imagine him just like a kid just doodling a motorcycle, and he just keeps adding rockets to it. He's like, how many more rocket launchers? We got 2 in the front, okay. And, I just flip a button and it shoots out the back. We can do that, right?
Yeah.
Sure,
Easy.
Chuck.
Yeah.
Why not?
There are 2 sequels to this film?
I did know that.
And
Is
one's
it the
direct to
third
video.
one? Yeah, the direct-to-video one I think is like all of their kids or something, like their
No,
real-life
really?
kids. I'm pretty sure. Let me double check here. I don't know what. Yeah, the DVD that I rented from the library had number 1 and number 2.
So number 2 is Delta Force 2, The Colombian Connection. I'm sure that's quite tasteful. And then number 3 is Delta Force 3, The Killing Game, where the terrorist leader's name is Khadil Kadal.
Great. Yes, you have Nick Cassavetes,
Whoa.
Matthew Penn, son of Sean Penn, Mike Norris, son of Chuck Norris, and Eric Douglas, who is the other son of Kirk Douglas. So you got you got everybody.
That's tough.
Yeah. Everybody knows Eric Douglas. Oh, he's dead. Rest in peace. An American actor and stand-up comedian, youngest son of Kirk Douglas.
His career was Douglas pursued a career in show business, but did not attain the same level of success as his father and siblings. His career was overshadowed by his numerous run-ins with the law and problems with alcohol and drugs. Maybe we should shut our traps.
Yeah, I already talked shit about Lee Marvin.
They found 11 vials of crack cocaine and 1,085 Xanax pills in his apartment.
Jesus Christ. He's a busy
Seems
guy.
like there's a lot going on there.
Glad we're not covering that movie.
Yeah, glad Alan had nothing to do with them. The
He
Wikipedia page is so funny. It goes, Marvin did publicity for the film, which was rare for him. He said the movie was, quote, a good flick, and admitted, but I guess I might be protecting myself, keeping the doors open, which is hilarious. He's like, maybe I want to do another film. There aren't too many firm film offers these days that guarantee money up front. Hey,
There you go. Hey.
it's a business.
Why not?
Anything else that comes to mind?
I thought the sound effects were very squishy.
Yeah, when they dump that body.
Oh my God, that was
Ugh.
rough. It sounded like they dropped a watermelon on the pavement.
I don't think watermelons are that gushy, though. I think a watermelon would crack.
Maybe like an overripe one. I don't
Maybe.
know.
I'm trying to think what would be what's the Foley artist using for that? My favorite thing is when they use cabbage or lettuce for like a beheading. Love that.
I like that too.
I took a radio drama class in college, and so we talked about it a lot.
Really?
We had to do a little production of Frankenstein, as a radio drama. I can't think of what a gushy sound would be. Maybe I'll look into it. That could be my clearing the air next week.
We'll come into it and I'll hop on the call and you'll just have a full desk full of Foley materials.
Yeah.
Big head of lettuce. Be careful.
Hey, no one's eating them right now, so.
Yeah, right. Might as well use them for sound effects. One of the other notes, you're telling me that the Orthodox priest with the fakest beard that I've ever seen is an undercover agent?
Yeah.
Never believe it. His death was kind of stupid, too. He falls one story, and that's it. And
Well,
he's
I also
dead.
feel that, like, I'm not
I guess
blaming
maybe
him.
he could have hit his head.
Yeah, I think that's what happened. I think you see some blood.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's like if you're having an underground radio system, maybe don't have where your back is facing the entry, right? I just feel like
Yeah.
you're setting yourself up to fail there.
I mean, it was a good system. Other than that, he's all the codes were while he was singing, so that was kind of fun. I don't know how they didn't
Yeah.
pick up on that before.
Yeah, I don't know.
Some of the other notes that I had about Delta Force not being that competent. At a certain point, they're crouching down in, I don't know if it was a poppy field or what, but it's a bunch of white flowers and they're
I thought it was
all
a
dressed.
cotton field.
Oh, was it cotton? I couldn't tell.
I don't know. I remember
Yeah.
thinking, why is there a cotton field in wherever they were? But I don't know if that was the correct plant or not.
Next to the airport. Yeah, but there, whatever it was some sort of white plant and they're all wearing all black outfits. It's the middle of the day.
They're
Like,
killing it
surely
there. Yeah.
nobody's going to notice them.
Yep.
And then the one other note I had about their antics was when they're crawling through the sewer pipe. Personally, I would have kept the scuba oxygen mask on just so I wouldn't have to smell what I'm sure was
Yeah.
raw sewage. But that's just me. I'm not a member of Delta Force, so what do I know?
Yeah.
You got anything else?
No, should we talk about the Chuck Norris AI ad now?
Oh, God. Yeah. Let's get into it.
I
Raising
don't know if there's-
Cane's.
Yeah. Do you like canes?
Yeah, I'm not opposed to it. We have to. There's not one super close to us. So if we're in the mood to go on a drive or something, we'll go out to pick up some canes and then eat it in the parking lot.
Yeah, I think their chicken's fine. I think it's a little too
Yeah.
wet.
Mhm.
But I like the bread. The bread's the best part. And I don't like
say.
sesame, so I do like I'm ridiculous and I do pick the sesame off the bread, but it's good. But besides that, I don't really like. I mean, it's fine, right?
Yeah.
But now I don't feel enticed to support Canes in the way that they brought Chuck Norris back to our screens as an AI generated form of himself, where the lips don't match the words that he's saying. And he's doing some high kicks that he would not be able to do.
Not from the grave, certainly. What is
So
the point of
true.
the ad? I've seen it once, but I don't remember. They're
Yesterday was
raising money
National
for
Chicken
something.
Chicken Finger Day, and every box combo was $1 towards a foundation, and it might have been cancer research because I know he had cancer, but I'm not sure if that's true or not.
Okay, so possibly a good cause to be determined.
Okay, one, not a fan of AI in general, but I hate the use of it to bring back the dead. Specifically, I'm thinking of the Val Kilmer thing, which I don't know if we've talked about here, if I talked about Big White Elephants, but...
No, I don't think so.
My view on that is it sad that he wanted to do that film and he didn't get a chance to? Yes. But that's... Like, human life has tragedy, and to go back on that feels, one, wrong, because it just feels like that's obviously that's not him. You're taking away a role from an actor who needs it, and, like, it's okay for things not to work out perfectly. I feel like with a lot of AI things, people want things to be perfect or, like, the ideal version of things, and that's just not how life is. Life is messy and complicated and often fails to meet expectations, but that's okay. And I think by using... But, like, all right, this ad is like a minute. People can be like, well, that's not that much. It doesn't have that big of an impact, but it shows that that's possible in a way that I'm extremely uncomfortable with in terms of how it will pervade into the mainstream culture in that way.
Yeah. I mean, it starts as just a minute, and then it becomes, well, it's just a short film, and then it becomes the Val Kilmer thing, where it's the whole... And what's crazy, we should give some more context about that in case people aren't aware of what the situation is with that. Can you talk a little bit more about the...
Yeah, I can't remember what quite the film was, but it was something that he had agreed to be on this project for, and then he passed away and couldn't do it. And
so he didn't film it. He didn't film 1 second of it. Yeah.
Yes, and I'm not sure if it's his estate or the family or the filmmaker that's like leading the charge about him being this role in this movie now. Like, that is what they want to do in a way that it supposedly is in line with his wishes, but as someone who can't speak for themselves anymore, I don't know if that's... I mean, it's probably true, right? I'm pretty sure that, like, but, like, the family is now very behind the idea of using AI to, like, recreate their father in this way.
Yeah.
I don't know. And did they use AI or just CGI when it was like Moff Tarkin or Leia? That was just CGI, right?
That was just CGI, yeah. And then, I mean,
even that
also
like,
did not look good.
And it doesn't feel good either, I don't know, from an artistic standpoint.
Right.
But yeah, basically they're like, let's recreate Val as a whole entity for this movie.
Yeah. And it's like, even setting aside the ethical issues, the creative issues, there's no way that it's not going to look good. It's not going to be a good performance. There's not going to be 1 second where you're not thinking, this is AI generated. This is like a puppet of a dead man.
That the film was called As Deep the Grave is the film title, which there's just some irony there that I think is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's basically the gist of it. I just think it sucks.
It does. It does suck. I mean, if you want to raise money for a cancer foundation, that's fine. It's like, and like I think I saw a different version of the ad where it was maybe his widow or his son or something.
They're at the end of it.
And
it's like,
okay,
they're like,
just have them do the whole thing.
You have their names. People can read.
Right. Well, can people read?
Not anymore.
I think you're expecting a lot. Yeah.
Sorry, I have faith in humanity.
We need to see AI Chuck Norris, or else how am I going to know what I'm donating to?
People probably didn't even know he had cancer.
Yeah, honestly. Yeah.
And $1 from a box combo. How many box combos are they actually selling in a day? I mean, I don't know. I don't know their sales, but
yeah,
I think Kane could give $2. Oh, but they have to pay back what they paid to use the AI likeness, right? So they have to make a profit somehow.
Yeah, they're millions of dollars in debt over this AI commercial.
Yeah.
God, should we link to the commercial?
Yeah, we'll drop a link.
So people need to see this. Yeah.
But then are we perpetuating?
That's why I'm...
Actually, no, you guys can find it on your own if you want to look into it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Do your own research.
Yep.
Just the latest of a long line of podcasts where we're telling people to do their own research.
Yeah, where's Eric? Eric, don't look this up. We don't need another view on that video.
No, we don't need to know. We don't care.
Speaking of AI, and just to see what the clips on Riverside are going to be for this one.
Yeah, right. the AI, the Riverside AI is going to revolt against this. We will get no clips
Will it
involving
talk about
AI.
itself?
Oh God. Are we gonna unconsciously give the Riverside AI self-awareness? Is this how it starts? Is this the singularity?
Hey, good
Who
movie
knows?
script.
Yeah, right.
Let's write it. If AI could get on, no, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Do we have anything else to talk about with this movie? I actually
That is
closed
the
down my
question, isn't
notes,
it?
so I don't know.
What? The one and only other note I had was, imagine going through that whole ordeal. You know, you've been held hostage, this whole harrowing moment, and then on the flight, your rescue flight to Israel, the only thing that they have for you is probably a warm can of Budweiser.
Lukewarm at best.
Lukewarm at best. I would say just leave me here. It's not worth it. And then, like you said, they start they're drinking their Budweiser and they're singing America the Beautiful.
Which I guess I'm glad it's not the American national anthem. Like,
that would have been too on the nose.
But I mean,
too
America
silly.
the Beautiful off key is tough hang. How long's that flight? It's too long.
Yeah. Well, they said it's like 20 minutes. Like a 20-minute
That's
flight.
at least 4 to 6 renditions of that song if they're just playing them.
Yeah.
If they're just singing them, the first verse and the chorus back to back.
Here's my pitch for this moment.
Yeah.
If this were a little bit more of a ridiculous movie. So we have Pete, the Delta Force member, is bleeding out. He's dying on the table in the plane. We have George Kennedy, freedom is last rights or whatever. And then we cut back to the commercial section of the plane, and they're singing 99 bottles of beer on the wall. 99 bottles of beer.
I was thinking
The juxtaposition of that.
When did Another One Bites the Dust come out? That'd be funny too.
Oh my God.
When was it released?
It had to have been before this, wasn't it?
80. Yeah, there we go. They cut.
All right.
It's a mashup, actually. It's 99 bottles of beer on the wall and Another One Bites the Dust.
And you got Martin Balsam.
They're doing a round.
Martin
That's a choral
Balsam's
arrangement.
walking up and down the aisle. Another one bites the dust. I don't know why, but for some reason, and this is, again, a commentary on politics today. I felt like when they were singing America the Beautiful, everybody should be doing Trump's stupid like fist pumping dance that he does at all his rallies. Like it felt like everybody.
I don't know what that is.
Really? It's the thing where he goes,
so.
You've never seen the.
I vlogged it. I try not to engage with videos of that man.
You know what? Fair enough. But it's whenever they play YMCA or whatever the fuck he plays at his rallies, he has this really stupid dance that he does. And now, of course, all of his sycophantic supporters do the dance too. Like it doesn't look ridiculous. Oh yeah, of course. There's no irony in there.
No, that's true.
I won't link to a video of that either. So don't give me any more views. Well, you just have to
imagine Clarence doing the dance right now. I just witnessed.
Yeah. The one time that I don't record the video on this call is when we need it. We got to move on. We got to
get out of here somehow.
Well, let's get into fanfare or flop. So this is our section of the show where we talk about the budget versus the box office, as well as the critical and audience reception, and whether or not this movie was nominated for any awards.
This movie had a fucking hell.
It's a gas leak.
Yeah, maybe. This movie had a modest budget of $9 million and ended up making $17.76 million, which it just feels like that, like something. There's something too American about that number, but we'll move on.
That can't be real.
Many people did not like this, but guess who did like this? Roger Ebert gave us 3 stars out of 4, which is kind of crazy. He says, quote, Delta Force settles down into a well-made action film that tantalizes us with its parallels to real life. Where were you on this side of that real life, Mr. Ebert?
With this being so inspired by the TWA flight and that only being a year prior, I can see how that would have maybe influenced audiences.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
He talks a lot about this being, not a lot, but he mentions this being a docudrama approach to a movie, which I think is an interesting insight that I don't necessarily see, but also we didn't live through that, right? So we know that it's referring to that or like directly coming from that, but I don't think, to me, when I think docudrama, I don't think narrative plot. Right. I think of more things. Like I think of the movie American Animals as a docudrama, or there are quite a few plays that are docudramas that I like, that I think is sort of more bringing in the outside sources into the into the art piece.
Can you think of another example of an action film that would be docudrama? Because I
I
don't know
don't
that I
know.
can.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Yeah. He talks a lot about how it could have been a retread of Airport, but the director keeps it low key, and that's great. I don't know. There's a lot.
Sure.
He likes us a lot. And he shouts out Robert Forster. Yeah, but 3 stars I think is pretty high for Ebert on a film that we can acknowledge is not good. But
Yeah.
I understand how you can be swept up in the moment. He also published this on Valentine's Day, which I just think is an interesting. This came out on Valentine's Day. That's also an important thing to note.
Aww.
A romantic
And all-
film for you and your your significant other.
Yeah, and then all of the men dragged their wives to the movie theater for this movie.
Oh, and I'm sure that they gave them shit for having to, like, there's that moment where they make the men and women switch seats and things like that, and the women get saved
Oh,
first. I'm sure, like,
yes.
some misogynistic people were like, well, we
course.
sacrificed ourselves for you. Whatever. Yeah, that's all for, this got nominated for no awards.
No recognition for Alan's work on this film?
But I mean, I guess recognition in terms of the Indy 500, which is just an odd little factoid, right?
The lasting
Unexpected.
legacy, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, 12, how many years? 12 years on from this was still being the intro for the Indy 500. Yeah.
Do you think, I wonder if people were to hear that song, if they would immediately think of the movie or if they would think of the Indy 500? Which do you think had more of a lasting impact?
That's a great question. I'll ask my dad.
Okay.
I don't know if he knows that we're doing this tonight, but I'll play him the song and see. I'll listen to the Indy 500 version and then I'll see what he says about if I just played the song from like the score he thinks of.
And he just has like a sleeper
Sleeper
cell.
cell activates, yeah.
How about the Alan of it all? Do you think that Alan's work on this movie was the secret sauce, or do you think that they could have replaced him and it wouldn't have made a difference?
I think the way that I felt like this is pretty comparable to Top Gun makes me think that he could have been replaced.
Yeah.
Especially because this is another instance of them not knowing how to use him in a movie where like there is that theme that's going on and on. But there are moments where like there are very tense moments and the score almost completely cuts out in a way that feels ineffective and like a poor choice musically for like the overall impact of the film. How do you feel about it?
I think this is the first time in a while where I didn't feel like I could sense Alan's particular voice in the music. Like, I felt this way about way back with the Doberman Gang and a little further along with the Mac, where it felt very much just of a certain genre of musical score. Where, I think he could have been replaced with, somebody else. Just because it's not necessarily that they're looking for his particular talent. They're just looking for a composer to do this very specific type of action score. Yeah. Well, we do not have any mail for this episode because we're recording this so quickly. I don't think anybody watched along with us, so we don't have any reviews. I did have one review. She didn't watch it for our show, but our good friend Anna Gould, co-host of Laurie Strode Trap House, watched this movie way back when, and I wanted to read her review because it kind of cracked me up. I don't know why I said way back when. She watched this last year, gave it 2 stars, and she said they put Robert Forster in brownface and/or gave him a tan, only to unceremoniously blow him up from the tailpipe of Chuck Norris's dirt bike 30 minutes from the ending. I was hoping he'd at least get him punch in or two. Disappointing. I think that sums it up.
Yeah.
He really he goes out
That's
so
why I rewound.
terribly.
I was like, that's how they end it? That's how they kill him? It's kind of frustrating.
It is. And she's right. He doesn't, Chuck Norris just beats the shit out of him and then he blows him up in a car.
And that's all their interaction, really.
Really,
he was on the plane,
They humiliate the guy. Well, speaking of humiliating, where are you landing on this thing?
I'm really struggling with this, to be honest, because last week was bad, like what we watched. But I think this was also awful for different reasons. I think this was way too long. I think the politics are optics awful. I don't feel great about it. I think the action is boring. I think the character actors are good. I love the character actors, but there's not enough of them.
Yep.
Like if this was just a plane movie, probably like 2.5, 3 stars.
Right.
But it's not. The plane stuff ends so early. I feel like I'm in like a standoff with the 5th floor where I'm like, is this better or worse than the 5th floor?
Yeah.
And I think the 5th floor had some jokes. I felt for the character. I just didn't like that was the portrayal.
Right.
I don't know, Clarence.
I mean, you're in a tough position because this will be your new standard for, what is bad.
Oh, and then like Tiger Man, which also 1.5, had a
Right.
fun song.
Right.
Right? 1 star. Let's just do it. 1 star.
Okay.
I can't think about this much longer.
Oh my God. So that's 2 episodes in a row now that you've given a 1 star.
Yeah, and I know people
Is that
might say
right?
like, you're ridiculous. That's crazy. It's my review.
Right.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, bud?
It's
What are you
our point of
feeling?
view. You know what? That's what you listen for. Yeah, if it was, like I said, if it was just the plain stuff before Delta Force gets involved, before any of that, you've got these great character actors doing some good work. I love George Kennedy, love Robert Forster, although he's given a really tough role in Brownface, having to do a pretty bad accent. I liked all that stuff. I thought it was I thought the fact that it's based on a real event was fascinating. But yeah, none of the Delta Force stuff worked for me. 2 hours is way too long for this
It's
thing.
a long 2 hours as well.
Yes. I was just dragging by the end of it. I started watching this later than I planned to last night. So I'm like, I just gotta fucking wrap this up. So I'm at 2 stars for this thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that makes your average a 2.9 and my average a 2.2.
Oh my God.
And then our overall average,
we're in free fall here.
a 2.56. So
Okay.
not awful.
Not great.
Not great.
I mean, I believe in us. I think we're gonna get above a combined average above 3 stars sometime soon. We have to.
Oh, we were gonna make a gentleman's wager on when that was gonna be, but we didn't actually do that.
Yeah.
Do you want to make a guess?
Well, I'm perusing this list. Why don't you let people know what we're covering next here?
The struggle, the striving, the sweat, the hopes, the heartbreaks. Steve is a talented gymnast who has given up competition and is working at his father's bike shop. Julie is the new girl at his old gym who has moved to town to train with their powerful coach. Inspired by Julie, Steve resumes training. While dealing with the conflicts in their personal lives and the stress of training, they prepare for the U.S. Olympic trials. This is, from 1986, American Anthem.
It's a very sexy
2.9
poster.
On Letterboxd. Yeah. Shirt open.
So I'm looking at our list of episodes here, and the problem that I'm running into is that I can see some entries that I think are gonna score fairly high, but the problem is that they're like months away. So we've got the possibility of months more episodes getting low scores. So is a single 5-star gonna drag us up that much? That's the question.
We need someone to do the math on it. I think.
Yeah.
Okay, do you have an episode in mind that you think will bring us up?
I think Who Framed Roger Rabbit is going to do some work, and then later on into next year when we get Back to the Future Part 2 and Part 3 almost back to back, I think those are going to do a little bit more work. But again, I'm looking at some of these other ones, and I think we got some stinkers in store for us. So
yeah, I'm kind of wondering. Like, maybe not till Father of the Bride, which is the end of June next year. Because I'm thinking, like, we've got, I mean, I don't know about My Stepmom's an Alien. I don't know how that's going to go. And I think Downtown is one of the worst reviewed ones that
oh, boy.
I feel like whenever I click on that, it seems like whenever I sort by popularity or, like, highest average rating, that's one of the lower ones, but it doesn't make much sense. Yeah. But then, we've got, I almost put on Soap Dish the other day, actually. I forgot that he did this. So good.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, it's sort of like Father of the Bride, maybe. And then is it not till, like, I have to just jump over Death Becomes Her. But, God, I don't know, man. Yeah. There are a lot of not bad, but a lot of unknowns, I think.
Well, this is why we do it. You know, if it was all 5 stars, where's the fun in that? And where's the fun for the listener?
Me as I'm putting on Delta Force, being like, where's the fun in having a good movie every time?
Yeah. We gotta have 1 stars and half stars to keep it interesting. You know how great it's gonna feel when we get to Flight of the Navigator with our super special guest. It's gonna feel, oh my God. And we'll be finishing up summer. We'll be crossing into autumn. Oh, what a relief that's gonna be.
Yeah, I do feel like all of our hopes are pinned on it in a way that I'm worried. That's okay. It's okay though, right? It's all about the journey.
Yeah.
The 2 of us, we're doing this together with all of y'all. Yeah. Thank you for listening to this episode. If you'd like to keep up with all things SOS, you can follow the show on Instagram at Sounds of Silvestri. You can also reach out to us at soundsofsilvestri@gmail.com or leave a message at 414-295-9966. We are both on Letterboxd. Clarence is at CK_LB and I am at GraceEllen_. This episode was edited by Clarence with production help from Dave and Ben. And as always, a big thank you to Alan Silvestri. Bye!